This is a video about Perry Caravello by Long Live Spoons. It is called Perry Caravello, the joke that never dies but probably should. I wouldn't necessarily agree that the stream should necessarily end. But I do have issues with the Perry Caravello live show. And there might be things in this that I disagree with. But overall, I agree with the premise that some things being done on the show are not very well handled. But let's just get to it. Let me see here. As someone who was sort of semi-heavily involved with the PCL community, I might be able to offer some insight that this guy is not aware of. So let's take a watch.
What up? Welcome to the Science Lab.
Hello.
Here at the Future Advanced Robotics Technology Institute, we specialize in many fields, but one field we specifically excel in is that of beating a dead horse. We've studied it, we've practiced it, we've learned everything we need to know about beating a dead horse.
Tell me about
Also,
it.
to be clear, we are talking about ruining a joke, not We're not beating horses here at the headquarters of science. We're not actually killing horses.
Damn it.
It's a very complicated process, you see. Step one is to repeat a joke until it's not funny anymore. That's it. That's the only step. That's what we've learned. Just do that.
So much
Science.
drama.
There are many examples of horses being beaten and
Anger
bashed
is
to a
good.
bloody, lifeless pulp. Everything that ever happened in Rick and Morty. Pickle Rick. Show me what you got. Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, my personal least favorite. We've got Skibbity Toilet for the younger viewers. We've got Step Brothers quotes for my millennials out there. Harambe memes. Beating a dead gorilla, perhaps? But by far, there is one joke that has been
I don't
beaten
know
to death
anything.
harder than any other. This horse has been dragged out to a field, ran over by a large truck, punched in the stomach, shot in the face, and walked all over by a large fat man. We're talking about the joke that is the life of Perry Caravello.
Obviously.
I love comedy movies. There's nothing better than grabbing a beer with the boys, cuddling up on the couch, and having a good laugh. And one of my favorites of all time is Windy City Heat. If you haven't seen Windy City Heat, it's a movie that stars the man of the hour, Perry Caravello.
My name is Stone Fury. This is my town, Chi-Town, Chicago, Illinois.
Perry is a character.
The attitude, the fucking remarks, someone like Bobby De Niro, baby.
He's a gullible hothead with a short temper and an ego the size of Jupiter.
And I have a look that people just pick up and they magnetize
No disagreements so far. Let's continue.
towards my look.
Because of Perry and who he is, the way he handles confrontation, the things that bug him to the level that they bug him, his gullible attitude, because of Perry, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest comedy movies ever made. The premise of the movie Windy City Heat is that the entire movie is one giant prank being played on Perry by his two friends, Don Barris and Tony Barbieri. In this movie, they trick Perry into thinking he is starring in a major Hollywood action movie called Windy City Heat. The directors, other actors, everyone on the set of the making of this movie is in on it. The only person who is not aware that this isn't an actual movie is Perry. In one scene, Perry has to be thrown into a dumpster for a shot in the movie. But to make it more realistic, the director insists they need to add real manure into the dumpster to make it seem more authentic. So
Everything we
Perry's
know.
thrown into a dumpster of manure to get the shot.
We need to go again. We need more.
Oh my god, how cruel. Imagine if that ever happened in recent PCL. How many people would be up in arms? But it's fine if it's here.
Crap. More
Just saying.
crap. Again? Yeah.
Following right after,
Like, covering Perry in actual fecal matter is not something that current PCL even comes close to being, but we have no issue with it happening in Windy City Heat.
after this,
Whatever.
Perry is supposed to do a
It's
sex
fine.
scene with a busty lady, and Perry loves the ladies.
Have I had sex
I'm not saying it's bad, but, like, if you're gonna have issue with one, why not?
with a woman to where I've bit off her bra and stuff many times?
But because he asked for a stunt double in the scene with a poop dumpster,
Why don't you ask for a stunt double? Then you don't have to do this.
A stunt double?
Do you want to get a stunt double?
Yeah, thank you.
They call in that same stunt double to do the sex scene. They tell Perry sex is a stunt.
Will we bring in stunts, please? Who
Why
else
do
is
I have to
leaving?
step out? I mean, I don't get to make love to...
And they make Perry think that this actor who is supposed to be him has wild sex with this lady on set.
I wonder if the South Park people took that joke for Orgasmo with the stunt cockpit. I'm sure they watched Windy City Heat. They're comedy fans after all.
Hey, superstar, how'd it go?
I want the stunt double gone.
The reason it's good is because Don and Tony know Perry well, and they know how to push his buttons in these hyper-specific ways. There's little things like Perry's assistant on set just constantly trying to bring him food.
Why'd you ask for it?
I didn't ask for it.
Who did that?
Don't ask me.
You think Orgasmo was before Windy City Heat? Possibly. Huh. That's a good point.
Stay there.
Do you want it?
Stop.
Bert, just do what he says. Go get him some food. Okay.
I don't need food now. Bert, don't get me any food now.
They make action figures for the 3 stars in the movie, but Perry's is the only one that looks like a melting, bloated monster.
Here he comes. Stone Fury! That's real.
Well, now I'm thinking Stone Fury's got to be more fit. The doll's got a little bit of a big pot belly.
The point is, the movie is fantastic. It's masterfully done, constant jokes, some more clever than others.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, Windy City Heat is early 2000s and Orgasmo is 1997. So, yeah, it definitely came before. You're right. Thank you, Pass the Remote.
In my opinion, the joke on Perry should have ended here, and it did for a while. Aside from the Big 3 podcast with Don and Perry and some stand-up shows around LA, the joke on Perry had died down, and boy was I happy.
No, the Big 3 podcast has like over 100 episodes, and it is a very, very entertaining podcast. And so, no, I don't agree that it should have ended at Windy City Heat, because then you wouldn't have the Big 3 podcast, which featured guests including Pippin from Lord of the Rings.
My favorite movie, Untainted. No sequel to ruin it. No big corporation getting their grubby paws on it to expand on it in a way that nobody asked for, that's supposed to add to it, but actually takes away from the originals. Disney.
Cut that.
But this brings us to
Cut that
present
out.
day, 20 years later, and the horse is being dragged behind the shed to get pounded by Mike Tyson with his fists.
Oh,
Perry
man.
now does a live stream show called Perry Caravello Live. Each live stream
Here we
can
go.
range from mildly boring
Why would Trader Joe's come to me for funeral costs?
to a chaotic catastrophe
You can kiss my motherfucking ass.
to downright sad.
I'm done. I'm
All right,
done.
one more. No, we're not done. Put your glasses on, Perry. We're not done.
Fuck you.
No.
I'm done with you too.
Stop with your garbage
fucking
mouth, Perry.
bastard.
Hey, Perry, stop with your garbage mouth. Put your glasses
I'm tired
back
of
on.
this degrading, demoralizing crap to fucking have me kill myself.
Perry gets trolled from every angle.
I think, it's been established early on in the video that Perry has a very short temper. So you can't really take these kinds of outbursts all that seriously. It's just a whiny man baby who just doesn't want to work.
The time, every stream, and that's by
So he'll say whatever he needs to say in order to end the stream. He doesn't actually mean all of it, I think is safe to say.
design. But we'll get to that. Now, I'd be lying if I said none of it was funny, because trolling can be funny. Sometimes the audience will donate to Perry with a name like Tom Cruise, and Perry will really think Tom Cruise showed up to his stream to donate a couple bucks.
Mike Tyson
Mike
here.
Tyson.
Turn your goddamn microwave around or I'll use your testicles as a beanbag. Don't make me mad, white boy.
You're gonna kick my ass, aren't you, Mike? I respect you as a boxer, my friend, but I'm not turning the microwave around. No way.
And for the most part,
I think another one that's funny is Liza Minnelli or someone. It's some celebrity who's no longer with us, and Perry's reaction is, "You're dead! You're fucking dead!" Which, if she is dead, then you wouldn't be able to tell her that she's dead. Which is funny.
I don't have a problem with the audience's trolling, because let's be real. If you are on the internet, you're going to get trolled to some degree. That is kind of inevitable. Now, some people definitely get trolled more than others. Sometimes there are giant brigades assembled to ruin your life and point out every single mistake you've ever made, like whole compilations of Wings of Redemption's chair squeaking.
Classic.
But these sorts of communities form naturally over time, like a fine wine. It's a bit of trolling, sir. That's the dumbest joke I've ever done, sir. The difference with Perry's
This guy's giving me Mike C vibes.
live stream is
Or
that
Tommy C, you know what I
it was
mean?
designed to make his life a living hell from the very beginning, and he had virtually no control over it. And it gets old. It's a lot of screaming and yelling.
I never sucked off anybody, you son of a bitch!
That's the
More
funny
yelling.
part.
No more 1992 bullshit!
And more yelling,
No more
Stop.
sagging!
Stop
God
screaming.
damn it!
and more yelling.
Fuck you!
They're trying to recreate some sort of Windy City Heat vibe. They're trying to be Disney. But that's not the reason I'm making this video. All right.
Quit
I don't
hitting
have a
your
boner
microphone.
for Windy City Heat. Okay. It's a movie from the 2000s, and I don't care that much. It's an old movie. It was funny. Whatever. The real reason I'm making this video is a little more dark and sad. It's going to take some explaining to give you the full context, so just stay with me. It's worth it.
Here we
Harry
go.
isn't naturally gullible. He's not an idiot per se.
Wait. Hold on. Rewind.
It's worth it. Perry isn't naturally gullible.
We're gonna need some qualifiers for that one. Perry is very, very gullible.
He's not an idiot per
Yeah, he is.
se. The reason that Perry is the way he is because in 1979, Perry was in a car accident that put him in a coma for 3 weeks. And when he got out, he suffered serious brain trauma. And
Well, that isn't to say that he wasn't stupid and gullible before then.
because of all this brain damage, it makes it very easy to take advantage of Perry. He's irrational. He has a bad memory. He can't pick up on certain things that everybody else can. If you watch Perry's live streams, you will hear a disembodied voice, egging Perry on, annoying Perry, forcing to do various things. Most of those
He's not forced to do anything. He can choose not to.
things are benign and boring.
No, on your arm. I want you to cross out snowboarder and write "Happy Birthday, Tom B."
There's no way
Happy
I'm
birthday.
not writing on my goddamn arm!
But some of them are a little more mean-spirited and like sinister.
$300, and all you have to do is take a scoop of the dog food in your hands, one hefty scoop in your hands, and eat that. That's all you have to do.
It's a
Excuse
joke!
me.
It's a fucking joke!
No, it helps pay the
fuck it.
bills.
Man, have you ever heard a more punchable voice?
Well, for $300, would you eat a little bit of dog food? I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you would. But Perry doesn't have to. But I mean, if you're being offered $300 to do it, of course you're gonna have people who are like, well, maybe you should for the 300.
The voice is a man named Tom Brennan. Tom Brennan is Perry's friend. He helps Perry run his stream on the technical side. He screens calls for Perry. He puts Perry in rear naked chokeholds. Oops, jumped the gun a little bit. Without
It's important to put that in context that Perry was in the process of violently attacking someone else. So that was done.
rear naked chokeholds.
That was done to keep people from being hurt.
Oops, jumped the gun
It's
a little bit.
hopefully he puts that in context.
Without Tom, Perry's stream wouldn't exist at all. Perry doesn't peg me as the technologically literate type. And according to Tom, Perry Caravello Live was his idea.
I was thinking of ways to monetize him a little bit. Before this came about, PCL, but like I was thinking like Patreon. Maybe we could post some. Everybody has a Patreon. He's got to go on Twitch, and it was Twitch before YouTube. I wasn't going to go to Don and be like, so yeah, this thing.
It actually started out on OnlyFans, believe it or not. Oh, well, he does say that.
OnlyFans is going really good. So, what do you think of Perry streaming on Twitch? So I was beyond. I was done asking permission for Perry to make his own living. By the way, I wasn't doing that anymore. So it just happened. We just did it, and I knew there was going to be some fallout from it, and there was.
Also, according to Tom, he claimed that he saved Perry from the clutches of evil Don Barris. He said Don was especially mean to him on the set of Windy City Heat, and claimed that Don felt like he owned Perry like a piece of his property.
I don't know if it's just me, but watching some old.
Well, I think it's important to note that on the Big Three podcast, Perry was given extremely little money, basically just enough money to survive and keep him in a state of perpetual neediness. While on PCL, he's definitely paid a lot more.
Big Three stuff, it seems like Don
Which seems kind of mean to me. I don't know.
actually didn't like
You
Perry.
can make up your own
Yes, that was true. The way he talked to Perry felt way more mean-spirited than I remember. Yeah, I mean, without getting too into that, you're right. And I can never. I used to love big three. I can never, I can't ever listen. I can't even watch Windy City Heat at this point. Why couldn't Perry just do cameo regardless of Don? Did Don have control over his bank account or something? No, absolutely not. It was just that's the way it was. You lived in fear, like, of, you didn't want to do anything that Don would get pissed off because Perry's his property.
I'm sure that clip won't come up later in the video to prove a point or anything. Tom has taken it upon himself to run the stream and come up with all the ways to troll Perry. At best, the pranks are pretty boring. It's like, oh no, Perry's forced to eat another fish fillet from McDonald's. Oh no, this is like the 1000th one.
But you got Perry. You shouldn't be acting like this after what you pulled.
I'm acting any fucking way I fucking want to.
Hold on, rewind it a little bit. Did he say like this is the most of what happens?
He's forced to eat another ways to troll Perry. And Tom has taken it upon himself to run the stream and come up with all the ways to troll Perry. At best, the pranks are pretty boring. It's like, oh no, Perry's forced.
At best, the pranks are pretty boring. No, I mean, at best, the pranks are pretty funny.
I'm acting any
you want to be
fucking way I
objective.
fucking want to.
No, that's what it. That's not appropriate, Perry. You're supposed to be an adult.
But then Tom will do things that are
Trying to claim that that's as funny as it gets is disingenuous.
more humiliating and degrading and manipulative, and it just comes off as cruel. It's really sad. He'll have Perry wear an adult diaper on stream and soil it throughout whatever, like 4 hours he's streaming, and then
Okay, so here's the thing. Whenever Perry gets upset, he takes a big giant swig from a water bottle that he keeps constantly filled with other bottles of water. And, he gets upset a lot, so he takes a lot of swigs from that water bottle of his. And what that ends up happening is makes him go to the bathroom like over a dozen times per stream. And that's really bad for the stream to have just like dead air and Perry going up to use the bathroom all the time. So as a solution, which Perry agreed to, was to have him wear a diaper, so if he needed to go to the bathroom, he could just do that on stream. He makes it sound like they just decided to put him in a diaper for no reason, when that's just not true. And it's important to put that into context. Like, when you just say, oh yeah, the prank is just to put him in a diaper, and you just leave out the reason why, then you present a very different message than what's really going on, to put it kindly.
at the end he'll have Perry get up and dance around with a full diaper on.
$30 for you to stand up and twerk for 30 seconds in the diaper while shouting.
Again, this is an offer. This is something that he's being paid to do that he can decline if he wants to.
Shitter's full. You can do that. 30 seconds. Come on, I'll start the PCL timer. Twerk for 30 seconds. When you're done,
If I start shaking and
Just keep in mind at any point he can say, no, I don't want to do that.
something comes out,
nothing's gonna change. Just chill.
No.
30 seconds, starting now.
it's about to fall off my body.
All right, done.
Like, think about watching like an episode of Dirty Jobs and like seeing Mike Rowe like get into a tunnel full of shit, and then you take that video and you say like, one of the most degrading things about this show is that Mike Rowe has to crawl around in a tunnel full of shit, and then you just show that clip completely out of context. Like, there are people who get paid to do this. This is like their jobs. Like, it's not like they do it constantly, and it's not like they're getting financially it's not like they're not getting financially compensated for it. They do their job and then they go home and they live their normal life with the money that they made on their job, which Perry does as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what Perry does, he streams twice a week. So give me a break. Like, some jobs are dirty. This is just one of them.
Then after he's done dancing, sometimes we'll have Perry take it off and weigh the diaper to see how much pee's in there.
Oh my god! Look, like, come on, man. Oh my god, they weighed the... ugh, what the fuck? Again, he's being paid to do this, and he can choose not to if he doesn't want to do it.
Go off and get the diaper off so we can see what it looks like. I'll play the closing music.
Sick, you fucking sick bastard.
Thank you.
Mr. Psycho!
Yes.
Big diaper. Yeah.
How much does it weigh? Is it heavy?
Oh my god.
Let's weigh it. Let's just get a weight check on the diaper.
7 pounds.
7 pounds.
Horrible.
How many times do you think you peed in that?
At least 2 dozen easily.
That's
oh my
fucking
god.
gross and weird. That is a weird thing to ask of a 60-year-old man. You're a
I mean, he's getting paid to do it. Again, there's a lot of dirty jobs out there.
gross and weird person. Tom, you are gross. That is weird and gross. You're gross and weird and creepy and gross. Tom's very
That's a little bit. I mean, you're free to have that opinion for sure, but you're taking a lot of things out of context in order to come to this conclusion.
calming, punchable voice is also a bit of a facade. There's been a couple times where he's slipped up on stream and said things that he thought he was only saying to Perry and not the stream.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why am I being abused like this?
How are you being abused, Perry? How are you being abused? You better shape the fuck up, cocksucker,
I
right
got
now.
Tom once in
Fucking
the
asshole,
90s and gave him
cunt-faced
my number.
fuck.
That's not a good look.
I'll agree there. That's a point that I'll agree on. Like that's borderline abusive. So we're not in complete disagreement on a lot of the points being made here. Just to reiterate.
Whoops. But Tom doesn't care because he will do it on stream live when the audience is listening anyways.
Hey, Perry, get your shit together for the remainder couple of minutes of the stream, okay? Thank you. Okay, stop shaking your head. Stop being a baby. You're just a misery tonight. An absolute misery.
Yeah, I'm in misery.
Okay, no, Perry, I don't want to hear about your problems, Perry.
I don't want to even be alive.
Excuse me,
with this
Perry.
garbage.
Perry.
Again, what was said at the beginning of the video is that Perry is a crybaby with a short temper. So sometimes you gotta rein him in.
Shut your fucking mouth and
That's a little bit over the line though. Like it's a tough line to tiptoe on between being insistent, being a hard-nosed supervisor, being a very demanding manager, and being, emotionally abusive. It's definitely a hard line to tiptoe across.
finish your stream. I've had enough
Sometimes it goes over the line, and I'll agree with that.
for you.
How's
Okay?
it going, Good Roberts? We're taking a look at this epic destruction of Perry Caravello live.
Finish your fucking stream, you absolute asshole.
Now, the browbeating and the verbal abuse doesn't solely exist live over voice chat, because sometimes Tom will go to Perry's house to do streams with him, and sometimes he'll bring his buddies over to help out. In my opinion, this is where things take a really bad turn. It goes from, hey, he's just being an asshole, to, this is kind of toxic. Tom will walk around Perry's
Toxic?
apartment like he owns the place, but he also doesn't care about it. He will completely trash Perry's apartment.
Kill me. Oh, you gotta take it. Here, I'll take care of that. I got it. No big deal. No big deal.
No, it's toxic.
Come
Oh my god, did you see that? He threw a pickle. He threw a pickle. Guys, shut it down. Shut it the fuck down. We can't allow this. We can't allow this on the internet. Jesus Christ.
Get the fuck out of my house right now! Get out of my fucking house!
This is fucked up. Tom, this is fucked up and weird. You're weird. You're a fucked up weird person. You threw a pickle.
Get the fuck down!
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on.
I'm throwing shit around of my home like it's a fucking junkyard! Get the motherfucker out of my house!
doing anything.
I'm not saying Perry's a clean guy to begin with, but he'll take food and just throw it. He'll take trash and throw it.
Oh,
He'll take
no.
pictures off Perry's wall that he's hung up and
Oh
just
my
throw
god! Oh
them.
my god!
He'll try
Oh
to break
god!
shit.
God, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry you had to see that. Ugh. Oh man.
He'll throw like actual fish fillets with sauce on the
Come on, relax.
ground. And every time he does, he gives the camera this look, this dumb look, like, dude, wasn't that so funny, guys? Aren't I so cool? Wasn't that such a good joke I
This guy doesn't do that.
played, dude? That's not a joke. You're just being an asshole. A lot of the time, the streams get pretty
No, I mean, he's not just being an asshole. It is in service of the entertainment of the stream. But let's semantics, I guess.
physical because Perry has a temper and things get out of hand. There's one side character who will show up to Perry's streams and put his finger in Perry's ass like some teenager who thinks he's funny.
I'll shock you. You're gonna go in the hospital. You're gonna go in the hospital.
All right, that was one time, and I mean, he makes it sound like it happens all the time, but it doesn't. That was just one time, and yes, I disagree with this. I didn't think this was a very good thing to do. This is a thing that should not have been done. But I mean, let's be honest, this kind of thing happens all the time in fraternities. It just isn't captured on camera.
The fact that he thought that was funny just goes to show that these are just giant man children. That's all they are. This is a grown man putting his finger and some wooden thing in the ass of a 60-year-old man.
Sit down, please.
Get your fucking
Perry, sit down.
Oh no, he's poked in the butt.
Perry, stop it.
Let that sink in. That same guy also
Let that sink in, guys. Let's just take a moment to let that sink in. That someone poked another guy in the butt with a wooden thing. Something that, again, is not something that should happen all the time, for sure. But isn't that sexual assault? Borderline? Again, it's a thing that happens, like, in fraternal environments.
showed up to one of Perry's stand-up comedy sets, and he thought it would be funny to do the oldest joke they have and feed Perry a fish fillet on stage, and it just ended up with them falling off stage. It's super embarrassing for Perry. I feel really bad for him.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
But it gets worse than that. In another stream, they zip-tied Perry to his computer chair and started going through things throughout his house, pissing Perry off to
What's with the slow zoom in on this? It's like, guys, let it sink in, man.
the point where Perry's screaming at them to get out of his house, and they don't.
I mean, he screams that all the time.
Just try it out and then just try it out just for a second.
You're gonna
Also, it's not a house.
fucking kill me with this goddamn shit!
No,
Son of a fuck! Stop it! Stop it! All right, stop it. We're done. We're done with strapping me down. Stop fucking putting this shit on me. Stop putting this fucking shit on me. You're not allowed to touch my goddamn.
Watch out! He's free! He's free!
Come on, it's funny.
Get out of my fucking house!
for the free order.
Get out of my motherfucking house!
I got
Get the fuck out of my house, all of you! All of you! Get the fuck out of my house!
This is why we want to let you all the limbs.
Get out of here!
Watch out!
Son of a bitch!
No violence.
Don't touch my
Putting it back.
stuff!
I'm putting it back.
Stop my stuff!
I'm putting it back. Calm down.
You son of a fuck!
Perry, calm down.
Again, it was established at the beginning of the video that Perry has a short temper and he's prone to yelling and screaming. Like, you don't think he's overreacting a little bit? And a lot of what's going on is just a result of Perry just not being able to stay calm. Like, all you have to, like, you don't even have to react to this. All they're doing is just, like, moving stuff around. But Perry's so neurotic about his belongings that even that is enough to just send him over the edge and make him explode. Like, a lot of this is his fault, right?
Everybody out of my house. I want all of you out of my house! Right the fuck now! Get the motherfuck out!
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm done! We're done! The show is fucking over! We're fucking done! My career is over as well!
all right, enough.
God damn it, get out of my house, all of you!
Whether it's morally wrong, whether it's illegal, I don't know. It might.
I don't know. I don't think it's illegal. Whether it's morally wrong, like, I don't know, that's subjective. A lot more subjective than whether or not it's illegal, but no, I don't think it's illegal.
Be whether it's a funny bit or not.
Like, Perry could call the police and have them over and have the guests escorted out, but he doesn't do that because that's, even for Perry, that would be stupid. But he could if he wanted to, right? If it was really that illegal.
Let's be perfectly clear on one thing. These are 4 middle-aged men with nothing going on in their lives.
Tony Hawk is married and he has children. Garrett is a military veteran. But sure, let's just insult them because why not?
It's like the
I mean, you could say that about this guy, right? This dude makes videos on the internet for YouTube, so clearly he has nothing going on in his life.
perfectly clear on one thing. These are 4 middle-aged men with nothing going on in their lives. It's like the loser Avengers, just a rock
This guy back here is Sebastian, the guy who runs the Cartnarks channel, a very successful YouTube channel that does a very valuable public service, which is shame people who don't return their shopping carts. But no, they're all just a bunch of losers with nothing going on in their lives.
solid team of the most pathetic people.
How
Put
pathetic?
yourself in these guys' shoes. You clock
Can I call this guy pathetic? Like, based off what little I know about him? I don't know, man. It's weird. It's such a weird tangent.
out of work on a Friday. You go home. You make a microwave dinner for one because you're for sure single. You sit down on your lazy boy and you watch Big Bang Theory reruns. And when 6 o'clock hits, you're like, well, time for the best part of my night. I'm going to go to Perry's house and play pranks on a 60-year-old man. Childish pranks that I think are funny. I'm going to put shit in Perry's ass. I'm going to zip time to something. I'm going to make him eat a fish fillet. Oh shit, that is crazy. Oh my God. I'm going to smoke cigarettes.
Quit
in his
hitting
house
your
without Perry
microphone.
asking, and I'm going to be part of a D-list stream as a Z-list celebrity for one night. And that's going to be the highlight of my year. That is only something that a giant fucking loser does.
That's that's a bit of an overstatement. But I guess if you gotta drive your point home, I guess you gotta really go over the line when you're making your YouTube video.
The lamest shit a grown man can do with their time. Get a wife.
I can imagine lamer things. Also, a lot of these people are married.
Get a hobby. Do literally
Again, Tony Hawk, the guy who put the thing in the butt, he's married and he has children.
anything else.
Get a wife, Tony.
Go smoke crack. That would be
Go smoke
a
crack.
way better use of your time than being a grown man-child on a stream to 300, 400 people. In these
Again, the guy he just zoomed in on has an actual family. But okay.
sweetest, most juicy part of this loser orange, I don't know, grapefruit. They need Perry. They are all so boring.
Well, Perry needs
They are all
them
plain
also.
white bread, boring white dudes.
Oh my God, they're white. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize. Guys, oh my God, sorry to break it to you, but these people, they're white.
With no
What the fuck is with the just socially acceptable racism with this shit? Is this guy a lefty? I don't even know. I don't even care.
personality
But bad look.
and nothing to say. They would be nobody. They are
Oh my God, I can't believe these white people and their opinions.
nobody without Perry. Even Tom, the guy who runs the show,
If only they had a person of color on staff, then you wouldn't be able to call them all white people.
is boring.
Fucking cringe.
Now, about that clip of Tom
Yeah,
putting
would it be okay if they were black?
Perry in a chokehold.
Also, if you think this is bad, you might want to take a look at Black Twitter.
Knock it off. Ah, stop. Yeah, knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. Knock it off. Stop.
You'll notice in the video,
I mean, yeah, it's a bad look, but as you can see, Perry is still able to talk, so his windpipe is not being obstructed. He's not being choked. His upper chest is being restricted, and no pressure is being applied to his neck. So as far as like a choke hold is different from being choked. I hope people understand that.
there's a lot of people in the apartment. There's a bunch of girls in there. And one of the girls spoke out about this clip on a podcast. It's called The Steel Toe Morning Show.
Oh boy, everyone loves the steel toe guys. They're
This
totally
girl
not hypocrites.
spoke on the podcast about this clip and about the whole vibe that she got about Tom and Perry.
Listen, I didn't know what their camera setup was like. I was aware of Perry. They definitely did not know Lila was filming, and I wasn't sure if they had cameras everywhere, like multi-camera angles. But she filmed like that a lot, and they had no idea that she caught that on camera. That Tom guy is the doughy frat boy guy is like a really sinister character and something amiss. Like
That was a weird cut. Did you notice that cut?
like a really
Is that a cut? That's weird. I'm not. Maybe it was on the steel toe end. That's odd. I don't know. I'm not gonna watch the original interview, but that seems deceptively cut. Maybe not.
like a really
No, nothing else moved, so I guess not.
sinister character and something amiss, like we're realizing is really going on.
Remember when I said that clip might come back to haunt you?
You know, you didn't
Oh
want
my
to do
God,
anything
so
with
haunting.
Don. We get pissed off because Perry's his property.
In my opinion, Tom has this weird power dynamic over Perry.
Again, leaving out the fact that Perry was in the middle of attacking someone else, and the chokehold was a way to restrain him so that fewer people were injured in that altercation. We just completely leave that out of the discussion for reasons that can be described as deceptive.
And he's taking advantage of a man with brain trauma and monetizing it. Now, I don't know for sure if Tom is getting paid for any of this. It seems like a lot of time and dedication to not get a cut of it.
Seems like it wouldn't take a whole lot of time and dedication to find this out if you're going to make a video on PCL, but no, Perry gets all of the tip money, he gets all of the sub money. The only money that Tom takes is the Patreon money.
At all,
which I mean, you can make up your own mind on whether or not that's taking too much. But I mean, if you're gonna make a video on this, do a little bit of research.
But I don't know for sure.
I don't know. Who cares?
But Perry
I'm just gonna make accusations without information. It's all good. It's cool. It's YouTube. Who
did
cares?
reveal that Tom controls Perry's finances on a live stream.
I don't. Again, like I says, I don't have any cash.
This is him responding to a tip notification asking him for money, so he's lying here. Like you can't take him at face value when he's responding to people who are asking him for money. He's just saying, "Oh no," like it's like when you're out and about and like a homeless person asks you for money and you're like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't have any money." It's like it's not true. You're just saying that because you don't want to give the person your money.
Tom's in charge of my finances right now, so
like Perry goes and eats steak dinners at restaurants fairly regularly, so he has money that he can throw around and spend on himself. Which, by the way, I think is a bad idea. I think you should suggest to Perry that he not waste so much money going to restaurants. You want him to save that money so he can retire and not have to do this for the rest of his life.
I really don't have anything that I can help out with at this moment in time.
Yeah, I mean, you can put two and two together. You can see that he's responding to someone who's asking him for money. Like, you should not take this at face value.
Who's to say if Tom is doing anything shady?
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I just wanted to.
I'm just gonna say it though.
Clip out there.
I'm just gonna throw that clip out there and I'm gonna present it in a way that makes it sound like it's completely accurate. But I don't know, man.
Posterity's sake.
This is not the best video.
Now they do have an audience. They have people who show up to the stream and watch this, and most of the time it's probably fine. These things, they happen, but a lot of the time it's just people annoying Perry and getting him to yell, whatever. But there are people who justify everything Tom does and they defend his actions.
Name
and
one.
They always use the same excuse. They always say something like Perry would be irrelevant and he would have no money if it wasn't for Tom. If Tom didn't help Perry out with his live stream, then Perry wouldn't have a job.
That's about as true as it can get. Like Perry would not be able to run his own stream. He doesn't even know what OBS means. Like, give me a break. He thinks OBS stands for obnoxious bullshit.
Tom actually holds this fact over Perry, by the way. Super fucked up.
Yeah, the fucking thing that you get paid for, that pays your bills, that lets you go to Ruth Chris, okay? You don't see me going to Ruth Chris or Jim or Garrett. I know, we're crazy.
Yeah, again, going back to, like, Perry goes out and he eats luxurious steak dinners on the regular. So he does have control over some of his own money.
Right.
And you can't trust him with all of it because he'll blow it all. He'll get scammed. He'll give it away to some someone he's trying to swoon, some, OnlyFans thought who just swindles him out of his money out of promises of a relationship. Like you can't trust this guy to have complete control over all the money that he gets from his Twitch stream. He'll just blow it all. You have to give him a little bit, and he blows it all. You know what I mean?
You're the one who benefits the most from this, Perry, and it's like pulling teeth to get you to do your goddamn job, okay? I don't need this shit, okay? I had a long day. I had a real job I had to do before even starting this goddamn thing, while you were napping and going to fast food and feeding your face, okay? It's enough.
It's all true.
I've had it up to here.
My question is to anybody who defends this is what
Okay, this is the question. The question that everyone needs to ask themselves if they're going to defend this.
What does Perry have to go through for it to not be worth it?
What does Perry have to go through for it to not be worth it? Like actual physical harm. Like, hey Perry, I've got an offer here. $10 for Tony Hawk to punch you in the face. Like, I would take objection with that. Like, I would have a problem with that. Like, again, this is like with DSP on the side scrollers talking to Keemstar being like, is there any line that you won't cross? It's like, yeah, obviously there is a line that he won't cross. You're just saying that to be insulting. Like, of course there's a line people who will defend PCL would not cross. It's like actual things that are morally reprehensible. Like, again, there are a lot of dirty jobs out there. Like, what about stuntmen? Stunt people go through a lot of physical harm. But nobody takes clips of stuntmen doing their work out of context and be like, can you believe this? What a reprehensible job this guy. I can't believe people do this. Like, people who defend people who do stunt work, like, where do you draw the line? Where would you say that this is unacceptable? And it's like, I mean, the guy's getting paid for it. He knows what he's getting himself into. And at the end of the day, he goes home and he lives his normal life. You got to put all that into context, man.
What could happen to Perry for you to be like, you know what? It's not worth the money. It's not worth the shame and humiliation. What does he have?
I mean, again, Perry can decline any offer that he's given. He could say, no, I don't want to do that.
To go through. It's not the chokehold. It's not the trashing the apartment. It's not.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to rewind that. Jesus. Oh my God. That's where I draw the line. Right there. That right there is where I draw the line, man. Just shut it all down. Call the cops. Call the police. Send the SWAT team. Send in the helicopters. Give me a fucking break, man. He threw a box. He didn't even like throw the sandwich when it's not in the box. Give me, like, what the fuck? How do you not look at this and be like, dude, you really want me to just like to feel so incensed? Oh my God, I can't believe this.
In the apartment, it's not.
Like, again, like, there are dirty jobs, man.
The verbal abuse is not.
There are things that people don't want to do.
Not the humiliation. It's not the degradation. It's not the embarrassment. It's not the physical altercations. Not the constant stress every time he clocks in for his.
This is shit that people do all the time.
Job. You're telling me you guys would withstand that level of humiliation for what? Money?
Does this guy not realize that, like, difficult jobs exist?
The small...
Like, what? Like, there's people who are strapped to the top of cars and they hold a camera in order to get a shot for a movie. You're telling me that people would do that for what? Money? Yeah. Yeah. People do fucked up dangerous shit all the time. And sometimes it's degrading. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's humiliating. It's a fucking job, man. And it's not a job in quotation marks. It's an actual job.
Smallest smidge of relevance. If Perry's okay with this, who am I to say he shouldn't be doing this?
Yeah,
if
exactly.
Perry is completely fine with all of this, with being humiliated.
Oh my God, look at this. Look out. Look. Oh my God, I'm in tears. Oh man, I'm about to break down. Oh, I can't. Look at this. Oh man, I'm sorry. I take it all back. I'm sorry, Perry. I'm sorry you had to go through this.
What is actually going on? If he's fully aware of like how this looks to everybody else, then who am I to say?
Oh my God, I'm sorry you guys had to watch that.
It's his life. He can do what he wants with it. But the reality is, Perry can make a living on his own without.
Nah. I don't think you understand how incompetent Perry is. If he didn't have PCL, he wouldn't be able to pay his bills. Dude, he lives in fucking Southern California. His rent is like is ridiculous.
Tom. He could stream on his
The cost of living is like going through the roof. Give me a break.
own. Trolls could troll him on his own, and he could make money that way. If Tom actually cared about Perry, he could set it up for him and let Perry do his thing. He could help.
He tries. He actually dares Perry to do it all on his own, and it's a disaster. It's boring as hell.
On the back end with the technical stuff, maybe take a small
Dude, you don't have any clue.
cut if he's helping out with social media and uploads, and just let Perry do
Tom does take a small cut already, and he does like the majority of the work.
his thing. Tom is not Perry's friend. He does not care about Perry. I don't know if he's
Like, what a claim. What an unverifiable claim. And also, it's not really up to you to decide whether or not they're friends. It's between Tom and Perry. Like, you don't just get to sit there and say, these people aren't friends. It's like you don't get to say that about anyone. It's up for them to say that.
he's in it for the money or if he just enjoys doing this to
Give me a
Perry for
break.
some reason. Either way, it's not cool. And the last point I want to make is that there is a massive difference between this and Windy City Heat. The movie was great because despite the pranks they played on Perry, which could be viewed as mean, a lot of the jokes in Windy City Heat weren't that mean. They were just meant to get under Perry's skin a little bit. Like when they show up for Perry's movie premiere, they just spell his name wrong with one letter, and they know that's going to make Perry mad. It's one of the best jokes in the whole movie.
Oh! Look at that. Look at they spell my last name with a K. What a bunch of fucking...
I mean, let's leave out the part where, like, he was put in a thong. Like, there are a lot of things in the movie that were a little bit more degrading than spelling his name wrong. I mean, I thought you saw the movie, right? You're not just leaving out those parts to try and bolster your point, are you?
None of them were this humiliating.
Because that would be dishonest.
Or degrading.
None of them were humiliating or degrading. What about being thrown into a dumpster full of literal shit? Not like fake prop shit, but actual manure? Like, what are you talking about? You showed that clip in your own video.
A bunch of fucking morons.
None of them were this humiliating.
None of them were this humiliating.
Or degrading.
Or degrading. Like, he was never thrown into a pile of literal feces on PCL. Like, what are you talking about?
Not Perry's life. This is Perry's life now. This is how he relies on surviving.
Again, he streams twice a week. I mean, come on.
And at the end of the movie, there was a happy ending. Perry went to a premiere of the fake movie. He was the star for a night. The president of show business presented Perry an award. And even though Perry was the butt of a joke for an entire movie, in the end, there was a feel-good moment. Perry was a movie star for a night, something he's always wanted. There is no...
And I'm sure there are feel-good moments that Perry is able to enjoy in his own personal life. But the thing is that those aren't put on camera for good reason. Those are private moments. Like, Perry has been able to have, like, a normal relationship with his immediate family. And, yeah, he doesn't really talk about his work that he does when he's alone with them privately, but at least he's able to pay his bills. He's not homeless. He's not relying on them for housing or for food. He's able to pay his own way. And I'm sure those moments make Perry feel like all the stuff that he does on PCL is worth it. I'm sure of that. And I'm sure if you were able to sit him down and sober him up and ask him that himself, he would tell you that as well. But those moments aren't publicized for good reason. They deserve to be private.
No happy ending to Perry Caravello's live streams. Every week, Perry hops on a live stream.
Yeah, and Perry gets convinced that he's a big shot, that he's a big deal, that he's like the #1 streamer on Twitch, that he gets a chair for being like the #1 streamer that used to belong to Darkside Phil. There's so many moments in this where Tom makes Perry happy, but you leave that out. Long live spoons, because you're trying to make your point, which is that this is all just one big degrading, humiliating disaster. But it's not quite that. And we got like a minute left, and we're not even mentioning the parts that are really worth getting on Tom's case, which is him going after clip channels and him basically extorting them for money and telling them that they're not allowed to make clips and upload them to YouTube, or else he's going to send out false copyright strikes, even though the clips fall under fair use. There's no mention of that. This guy's done very little research if the entire point of the video is to try and make Tom look bad.
He's trolled, he's taken advantage of. And if Tom is trying to recreate the magic of Windy City Heat for fans of the movie, he has no idea what made it that good in the first place. Thank you for watching the video.
You're welcome.
And tuning in. I appreciate it. If you liked the video, go down below, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
But I appreciate someone giving their thoughts on this. But yeah, that's about it. Just wanted to provide a little bit of extra information that this guy, I guess, didn't really have the time to include in his video, which I feel is somewhat irresponsible. But whatever, it's not that big a deal. You're just some commentary YouTube channel. Nobody's really expecting you to put a scholarly deep dive and read the entire Kiwi Farms thread to see every single embarrassing moment done by PCL. And the guy clearly just wanted to say, like, this should all stop. And he didn't want to really present a more nuanced view of it. I mean, again, I'm not in complete disagreement that there are a lot of things on PCL that is done badly. I don't think it's a perfect show, obviously. And I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, to be honest. I don't watch it anymore. I can't put up with it. Like, I think it's just done too poorly, and there are a lot of ways it can improve. And I've said this directly to Tom, and at the expense of burning that bridge. But, you know, it's something that I felt passionate about, and something that I needed to get off my chest and just say that I had a problem with. And now I'm not involved with PCL at all whatsoever, including watching the show at all. Which, I mean, I used to be a big contributor. If you guys know me and my channel, I used to give a lot of money to PCL, but no more. Because they were on thin ice for a while, and then they broke that ice. But anyways, again, like, I appreciate the guy giving his thoughts on it, but I wish he wasn't so committed to presenting the premise that he had come up with before probably even getting into the editing phase. And I know it's a lot of work to change the direction of the video that you're going with in light of new information that you come up with in the middle of creating your video. But that's what responsible commentators do. They change course, even if it involves doing more work, even if it involves going back and redoing a lot of things that you've done. If you're presented with enough information in the course of your research that it alters your perception, differentiating from what you came up with before you made your video, then I think it's worth doing. Or else, I mean, you deserve to stay on level 1 when it comes to your commentary. But anyways, nothing against long-lived spoons, I guess, despite all of that. If he does see this, hopefully he learns a little bit. But that's all I wanted to say about that. The end.